So hello everyone, I am Archibonto and I am going to demonstrate the first three parts of our activity 3, which is creating a simple API using Flask. So for the information of everyone, Flask is a web framework for Python which allows developers to build applications easily and quickly. So let's proceed to the first part. The first part is to launch the dev as virtual machine. So we just have to open our Oracle VirtualBox and we have to start our virtual machine. So the next part is installing the Flask. So we just have to open VS Code or Visual Studio Code. And in here, we go to terminal. Then we have to click new terminal. Then, so in here, we have to make sure that we are working in the correct directory, which is this /lab/devnet src/python. So in order to go to that directory, we just need to change directory using cd command. cd labs cd devnet -src, then cd python. Then next is we have to enter python 3 -m pip install plus and let's just wait until the installation is finished. After that, we have to create a virtual environment for Flask. So we have to enter python 3 -m vent. Then next is we have to enter that space vent slash bin slash activate so that we can activate the virtual environment. Then let's proceed to the part 3, which is building a basic API with Python. So next is we go to file, new file. Then let's just save this file as app.py. And we have to make sure that file is created in labs devnet-src, then Python folder. Then let's save. Then next is we have to enter this code from Flask, import Flask, app is equals to Flask underscore name at app dot route hello, then function hello colon return statement hello world. Then next is we just have to control S to save. Then let's go back to terminal. Then we have to enter export Flask underscore env is equals to development. The next is export Flask underscore app is equals to app.py. The next is we have to run the Flask using Flask run command. The next is we have to take note the host address, which is this. We just have to copy this. The next is we have to test if the API is working. So we need to open Chromium. In here, we have to paste the host address, then let's put the hello. And here, the expected output.
Hello everyone, my name is Rothelo John Umol, and I'm here to continue our demonstration for our activity, which is create a simple API using Flask. So now that we're done building the basic Hello World API from the previous steps, let's now go to part 4, which is add a GET request to the API and test it using Postman. So before we do this, we need to make sure that the Flask is not running in the terminal. So let's go to terminal and press Ctrl C. That should stop the Flask from running. And after that, we can now edit the code. So here, let's import JSONify. And the reason why is we're going to convert our string output into JSON format by using this JSONify. So next, uh, in the app.route parameters, let's add methods equals get. And for the hello function, we also need to add something here. So data equals curly braces, and inside it is message. And the message will be hello world. There. And for the return statement, let's JSONify this data. Okay, so we're done with the code. Let's save it, Control S. And now we need to run Flask. So just go to the terminal and type Flask space run. Okay, this should be running. And we need to take note of this host address. Copy. So now, in order to test this GET request, we need to use Postman. So we have here Postman, and to create a new request, just click this plus button at the top. And in the request type, we need to make sure that the GET request type is selected, and just enter the host address here. And then hit the send button. So there, for the output, it says message, hello world, and it's in JSON format. So yeah, with this, the GET request is working. So now we have a GET request. Let's now try to add a POST request to the API and test it using Postman. And this will be the part 5 of our activity. So again, before we do that, uh, we need to stop Flask from running in the terminal. So go to terminal and Control C. And now let's edit the code. So here we have to import request. And for the app.route parameters in the methods, let's add another value here, which is post. So now that the methods has two values, which is get and post, in the hello function, we need to add a conditional statement that will accept each method's value. So here we just need to clear this. I just skip the return statement. We'll use that. And let's start with if request dot method is equals to post and then colon. So next is we need to assign the request.json into this variable called data. So request.json. Be careful, it's JSON, not JSONify. So now from the request.json, we need to get an input that should state as name. So name equals data, then name. So after that, we need to set up the message for our output. So f hello and the name. And let's add an exclamation mark. And for the response, this is going to be our output. So let's put here message and the message variable. And let's include this return statement in the if statement. So now what we need to JSONify here is not the data, but the response. So there we go. Next, for the else statement, here you can specify the else statement like you can do something like this. Yeah, you can include here the statement request that method equals get. But since we only have two choices here in the method's value, else will be fine. Just you can just leave it as is. It will still work. So here in the else statement, we just need to send an output which is hello world. So let's copy this response and edit this. The message will be hello world. Okay, that should do it. So we're done with the code. Let's save it. Control S. And let's go back to terminal to run the Flask. So type Flask space run. And that should be running. And in order to test this post request, we go back to Postman and click this plus button at the top for new request. And here we have to select the post as the request type. And let's just copy this host address and paste it here. And now for the input body, let's go here the body tab and click the robbed radio button. And at the right, at the drop down, select the JSON And here, we need to enter our input, which according to the code, it should be name. So let's say type your name, and for our example, let's type Janet there. So after that, let's click the send button, and there we go. Our output is message, hello Janet, and this is in JSON format. So yeah, that just means the post request is working. And to make sure that the get request is still working, because we modify the code, we just need to go back here and click the send button. And there, it still displays the message, which is hello world in JSON format. So there we go. We are done with our demonstration for our activity, which is create a simple API using Flask. Thank you for watching.